Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we paint. As you can tell, I've got the garage all prepared. I've actually got the car all masked up as well. I spent most of yesterday cleaning this garage out, sweeping it, pressure washing it, and really moving things around, getting all this, these nooks and crannies blown out, get this dust out of here, because we're gonna have these fans running and have some airflow through here. And I don't really want any of that stuff to come back on the clear coat if I can help it. It's probably gonna go ahead and get on there anyway, but we'll sand it out and we'll buff it, no big deal. I went ahead and threw some seam sealer in some of these seams here that needed it. So I did that yesterday afternoon, so it should be ready for paint now. It's dried up enough. I've got some door bolts here on the back that I'm going to go ahead and paint as well, so they'll be ready. The car's looking really good. Everything's masked up, like I said, exactly how I need to. I went ahead and masked off underneath there as well, because there's a lot of dirt and dust underneath the car that could kick up if I'm spraying underneath there, so that should be good. Really, I'm not going to waste too much more time talking about it. We're going to wet the floor down in here. I'm going to take a tack rag to the car, but first I'm going to take some glass cleaner and some wax and grease remover and clean this off one last time before we paint it in. Right before we paint, we'll open the garage door up just a little bit, put the filters in there, turn the fans on, get the air flowing through here. It's about 74 degrees in the garage. I let the heat on all night long. It's about 60, 65 outside, so it will cool down a little bit. The humidity's up a little bit today. It's not ideal, but I really want to get this car done, and I've got a 3-day weekend this weekend, so hopefully we can get this thing knocked out and get this thing painted and clear coated and cured, and then we are going to start putting this car together before long. So let's get into it. All right, the paint job is complete. After a long day, I'm really happy with how it turned out. There's very minimal dirt in the paint job whatsoever. I think the prep work I did in here yesterday made a huge difference in keeping that dirt from kicking up. I pressure washed this, like I said, and made sure everything was as clean as I possibly could. Also, there are no fish eyes in the paint job, which is amazing because it's going to make the sanding and buffing process a lot easier. Dirt nibs are easy to take care of. Fish eyes are a whole different story. I think the desiccant that I used on the wall and the paint gun made a big difference because I did swap it out a couple times while I was painting because it did turn pink. So there was water getting trapped in the desiccant and doing its job. So that's awesome. I went ahead and removed the masking. So we are completely done with the masking on here, and I went ahead and also set the fenders on there just to get them out of the floor. I've got them lightly bolted on there, didn't tighten anything down yet. I'm going to let this paint cure for a few days before I really do anything with it. It may be actually a couple weeks before I even touch the paint because we have work to do elsewhere. We have all the interior to do now, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing next is pulling the carpet and the dash out of the blue or green CRX out there and swapping it in here because I'm ready to get this thing starting to put together. I'm super excited about that because now we are ready to jump forward and get this thing done. One thing I did do while I was painting, I did not show it on the camera here, was fix this bumper here. This spot here that was damaged from the SEM trim black seeping through, I went ahead and sanded all that down with 320, 600, masked this whole area off here, cleared it all, and I did a little bit of blending right there with a clear coat, used some spot blender. It looks amazing. There's just a little bit of sanding and buffing to do right there. You can't even tell it was there, and it's in such a small little spot. I'm really happy with that. So we are going to be getting this bumper completed pretty soon and getting it on the car. I've got a ton of work and cleanup to do on things like the bumper support and all that stuff. And I've also got to paint all of the lower cladding and the trim pieces with the SEM trim black. I have not done that yet, so that will be coming up pretty soon, probably after I buff the car. That way, we just kind of go in order, get the car all completely done, start putting the body panels on, and then putting the cladding on last. So the trim pieces will be last. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. We made huge progress, and I'm super happy to have this over with and moving forward. So stick with me, and we'll keep moving along on this car.